Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, episode 350 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly news and gaming and all that other bollocks about games for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and I'm joined this week by Mrs. F. Moody.
But if you want us to talk about bollocks, I'm sure we can find a way. Life always finds a way. But hello, everybody. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's another long weekend for everybody. Who knew Britain was this generous to us, sir?
What dipshit decided to have 3 bank holidays in 1 month? Should we spread them out? Nah.
No.
Fuck that.
The funny thing is, though, the next one's not until fucking August.
Yeah. It's mental, isn't it?
It's really funny. It's like, all right, May. That's the difficult month for you all. So, okay, we're going to give you 3 bank holidays.
Yeah, May. I mean, it's been a difficult month for me for external forces.
And then, and it's just like, okay. Here you go, my people. I give you an extra day off.
Just flashing back to all the things I've read about. How are you, Moody?
I'm not bad. I'm like it's a little bit roles reversed. Like last week you were paralyzed.
It's not week, hugely roles reversed.
I'm in pain in my neck and I really just don't want to move it right now.
That's fair.
And
did you
I'm looking like this right now.
head banging at a heavy metal concert?
I was head banging.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Definitely.
I thought that's where it would have come from.
Definitely.
Crashing has started again.
Oh no!
I don't mind if the house gets robbed, as long as they don't come in here. They can hear me talking. Rob the rest of the house. Leave this room.
Okay. You hear that, people? You heard it. Oh God.
Oh. That looks. Oh. Yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah, I think I've slept awkwardly, and my body's just like, yeah, go fuck yourself. My
body is frequently telling me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
So I'm in solidarity with you, though.
Oh, thank you.
Solidarity.
No, not anymore. I take it back. Yeah. So we're both falling apart, Amy.
It's great. I mean, I was already falling apart.
Yeah. So this episode is titled "We Are All Falling Apart."
Close. It's about things that are falling apart.
Okay, so I'm going to try and move a little bit.
Okay, that's awesome. This should be interesting. I feel like I should be like, just no. Just a hand.
I'll just pull the mic down. I can record. Just use the Pac-Man as my head. Waka. I hope everyone went out and voted today if you were on voting duty.
I was not on voting duty.
You haven't got local elections, have you?
No, we didn't have any.
I did.
I'm going to be interested to see how many people got turned away for ID.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I've heard some people have been turned away with driver license, which is the ID which they're allowed to use, and it's really
it's a shit. It'll be a shit. Like I haven't been on Twitter today, but it'll have been a shit show. Like 100%.
Our oligarch prime minister must be excited by this.
He must be until he realizes that. I don't want to sound ageist, but the people who are most likely to be flummoxed by the new system will be older people.
Probably, yeah.
And they all vote for him.
That is true.
Statistically speaking.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
them. We'll just call them them.
Yeah, those
those
blue
things.
tie wearing shit stains on society.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just came up with that.
The thing is, blue's my favorite color, and I can't look at it properly again. That's the worst thing about it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I like blue.
I get that. Purple's my favorite color. So I don't have a political party tied to my color. If I did, I'd be in trouble.
Why did you vote for them? Purple.
I've got
The thing is, funny thing, I don't mind it revealing or something like that. I could only vote for two parties
Yeah, you said this last
in
time.
my area, so I could only choose from the dipshits or the Green Party. I've never voted for the Green Party before in my life.
I have.
Something always new to happen. Something new always happens every day, and it's true.
I voted for Labour once in my entire life, like in general. Probably in at all. Like, apart from that, no, I've never voted. I've never voted for either of the two main parties. Apart from that,
I voted for Labour once, if I remember rightly, but this was long ago. I didn't vote for him last time. Forgot there was a general election on the flat at that time when Theresa May was Prime Minister.
Moody,
I completely forgot.
Moody.
I completely forgot. I'm sorry. I wasn't as politically charged as I was back then. I was stupid. And
What
I
was
just
that,
was oblivious to
2017?
everything.
Yeah, you went podcasting with me.
Yeah, I was oblivious to everything. Yeah, I didn't know you, Amy. Yeah,
I think we knew each other, but
Yeah.
probably from my Xbox and me, because I think it was around about that time.
Yeah, so we were talking about
was
stupid
on
shit
there.
on Xbox.
And Fixer didn't. His podcast wasn't as politically woke, shall we say, as I am. Like
He doesn't like truths on his podcast.
No, nothing like that. He just focused on Xbox like stuff. So like
That's
instead
true.
of
I can understand that.
instead of like some like you know how we like a couple of weeks ago we were laughing about woke soundtracks in Resident Evil 4. Well, instead
Woke
of that,
bathrooms.
we'd be reading patch notes for like whatever Xbox game, which is fine. That was what he wanted to do. But we did used to joke about it privately, like because I did my podcast. My podcast was probably heavy-handedly like politically charged, and I use air quotes and that. So it was like I'd go onto his podcast. It's almost like a break.
It's time for me
From
to
that,
relax.
it's like,
Time to have a
oh yeah, I
break.
get to talk about like playing Overwatch for like 10 minutes. You know, there's no political or any kind of connotations to that because at the time there was.
Yeah. It's very interesting. There's no doubt about it. It's very interesting to see like how many different type of podcasts there is out there. Like someone like Richard, like I don't, we love Fixer the Bits. He's a great guy, and what he's doing right now, I think is some of the best content I've seen him do and everything like that. And his podcast is doing very well, what I'm seeing, which is fantastic. But he wants to stick it to the Xbox and Xbox only, which is fantastic. And the same goes for like other people. Like there's PlayStation podcasts out there, Nintendo podcasts, and whatnot. We like to mix it up.
We just, I don't know.
We go with the flow.
We just go with the flow, right? You know, like
we see whatever comes out one of our mouths.
yeah,
So,
essentially. Like, what dumbass shit can I get away with saying on the internet this week?
something like that. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It is
That's
quite funny.
basically-
It is quite funny that you like knowing me has made you more politically aware, which is nice. I think.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, no doubt about that. Like, I openly admit, I'm not ashamed to admit this or anything like that. When it came to like to the Brexit vote, I never voted, so I can't comment on that. But at the time, like how everything was talking and everything like that, I probably would have voted Brexit at the time.
Yeah, well,
I
you
openly
know,
admit that. I openly admit that I am not ashamed to admit that because I didn't know. I didn't know anything of like what was happening or anything like that, and I was just a stupid 20-year-old. I think I want to say late 20-year-old man, and that's maybe sounding stupid or anything like that, but that's just how it was. I wasn't just not politically charged as I was now. Compared to what I am now.
If you just take both sides of the argument at face value, without engaging critical thinking, then you know the Brexit side sounded fucking amazing in 2016. You know, it was all bollocks, but it sounded really good.
Yeah. The thing is, I never listened to the stupid Nigel Farage or anything like that, and I never listened to the stupid idiot Boris Johnson and the big red bus or anything like that. I just said, if I was going to vote, I probably would vote Brexit. I have also apologized to my partner because she is a foreigner for this. Even though she's fine and everything like that, she's European Union and she's allowed to stay and everything like that. But I was like, I am sorry.
Oh, well,
I was stupid.
One of my friends moved. She's French, and she moved back to France in 2018, I think,
Yeah.
or it might have been 2019, one of the two. And she
See,
tried
when
to.
they strike or do things against the politicians, it's good.
I love it. They don't give a fuck, and I love their attitude for it. But no, she moved back to France, and her partner was English, and they've tried to move back, and they can't.
Well, they
stuck.
can't get back to
They
England.
can't go back to England.
Don't come back. Don't. Honestly, it's shit over here.
Look, right, I'm a friend, so I'm like, whatever you want to do, I'm being nice and stuff. But like, yeah, really, like,
I don't know you, so
don't come back.
I have no skin in this game. Do not come back. I'm sure you're a lovely person, both of you and everything, but don't. Britain's a shithole right now.
Will be for a long time to come.
We're going to be for a long time. A long, long, long last time. Like, I watched, I don't know if I shared it in our Discord. A chat from Femi. I don't know if you know Femi.
I know if it pops up my
Yeah,
TikTok.
well, he did a chat in America, and he was talking about why he is optimistic about the future, even though everything is all shit right now. And it's because of the young audience, the young votes, and everything that's going to happen, and everything like that. Like in 2019, the Tories actively stopped 16-year-olds from voting because they obviously people were trying to get that through because everyone knows that the 16-year-olds at the time were not the young people were not going to vote Conservative, and they fucking knew that, and they probably would have lost the general election if that was actually going to be allowed. It's just mind-boggling to think that. But now these 16-year-olds are now 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds. So there's a chance we could get, obviously, the Tories out. The downside right now is it's fucking the red side, which is just really, really annoying right now.
Yeah, there's the big elephant.
How many
in the
pledges
room,
has he deleted now? All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
All of his
Wow.
leadership pledges.
Wow.
So voting Labour will fix nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's not going to help. And if they win, they win. They probably will.
They probably will, yeah.
But it's like, I think I was talking to someone about this, where it was like, from my perspective, and the things that I specifically need, you know what I mean? Like, I'm specifically like, I need a party to do this for me personally. Like, not even like the economy or this or that, or like stop the boat. It's just like, no, for me personally, and it's like, they're not going to do that, so I'm not going to vote for them.
Sam sadly is on that side as well.
Yeah, so it's just like,
it's like
I'm fucked either way.
Like if you voted one side, you're picking up a lethal injection. You vote the other side, it's the same lethal injection.
This is great. What a choice.
Let's do it.
Let's do both.
Yeah, if I stab myself with both, I mean, automatically means I'm going to survive because they'll counteract each other.
Cancel each other out.
Yeah, they'll cancel each other out.
Someone I know.
That's how the Force works, right? Isn't it?
It was a little while ago, actually. But someone I know took umbrage with the fact that I said when Labour win, because we're all assuming Labour is going to win the next election
at this moment, yeah.
Despite the fact that he's trying his best not to, but I said, when Labour win, it's not gonna, there's gonna be no difference for me. So, whatever, I'm not really optimistic about the immediate future.
Yeah.
It's a shit sandwich for me either way.
It's a shit sandwich, yeah, it really, really is. For the most part, just for the people who were me when it was around the Brexit vote and everything like that, was just they're just get the fucking Tories out. That's their main focus right now, and they just automatically think that obviously Labour is going to be better and everything like that. And I do think Labour will be poised better in some certain elements.
In some stuff, I'm sure they will be.
Yeah,
I don't know what that stuff is, but
yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be funny. I'm gonna be interested to see what tomorrow morning's gonna be like.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because we're going to see a lot of... I'd love to see, just loads of Green Party support. Just everyone who's not the Tories and Labour just gets shitloads of votes.
Well, I think Lib Dems will win a couple of seats.
Just fuck yous both.
Sad. If Green's going to win anyway, it's going to be my area. But even when we were speaking to the people who were obviously like taking our like IDs and everything like that, they said, "We don't want to." Do we ask them? You expecting a big turnout? No. I went, oh, great.
I mean, some might say green policies are becoming more and more important as the days, weeks, months, and years roll on. But hey,
man, this is not a political. I was going to say,
I came in like to this like intro thing. Like, I've just recently watched Mythic Quest. I've just watched Ted Lasso. Like, I'm watching Babylon 5, and I was like, oh, I could talk about this stuff. And instead, it's just like, nah, politics, which I'm fine with.
Yeah. You got a code for Bramble, and obviously you've completed the game already.
Obviously, even though I don't know which platform it plugs into.
Xbox.
Yeah, I was going to say, all I know is it's not Steam.
Why won't this Steam code work?
It's from my game reviewer days. I'm just used to getting everything on Steam.
Fair.
Fair. I automatically take a code and just drop it into Steam.
That's fair.
I'll finish it next week. By next week.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I might have Star Wars done by then.
I didn't even have Star Wars until yesterday. Thanks, bank holiday. Proper.
I got mine on Saturday. It dropped for me. I got the email.
I got the email like 8:30 or something in the morning on the day before. So I was like, cool. Like when that happens, usually it comes on the Friday. Didn't turn up on the Friday. I was like, that's fine. And it's definitely going to be here on the Saturday, ain't it? Yeah. Didn't come on the Saturday. Got to Monday, and I was like, it's a fucking bank holiday. Shit. And then it didn't.
Well, we got no games coming next week.
And then it didn't come on the fucking Tuesday either. I was like, this is bollocks. This is bollocks. And then you were like, hey, do you want to review it? And I was like, I haven't even got it. Can we wait? It's somewhere.
No, I haven't finished it yet. I would have just given like my initial thoughts.
Yeah, to be fair though, like, I knew you hadn't finished it because when you asked, I was like, no way. There's no way he's finished this yet. Surely, fucking hell, that must have been one hell of a marathon weekend. So I looked through all your profiles until I found the one that had Star Wars achievements on it. And I was like going, has he finished this?
Just ask me instead of spying on me. You've got my... What the hell? You could have just replied. Wait,
I could have just said,
I would have said
finished
no.
It? And he would have said no, and that would have been it. But no, instead I went through and I was like, going through your achievements, like, what? He's about halfway.
Hell, me?
I don't know. That's where my brain went fast.
Your phone was right next to you.
My phone wasn't just right next to me, it was on my phone.
What the hell? That is some weird ass bonkers shit, that Amy. I'm talking to him, man. I could just simply ask him if he's completed the game. Nah. PlayStation app. Where are you, Moody? In my friends list.
Yeah, basically. That's exactly what happened. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fucking weirdo.
Oh yeah. Well, I already did that. Yeah, we all.
Speaking of weirdo things, I did.
Yes.
Redfall came out, and I've decided to play it, despite everything everyone had said and recorded and shown. I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll play that."
And I just want to state this right off the bat. I called this when I first saw the trailer for this fucker last year.
No, go on. Continue.
No, that's it.
Just get it out your system.
Yeah, that's it. But I deeply apologize to the developers because, like, I can only imagine they would have known and everything.
I said this exact thing to somebody yesterday. I was like, they must have known. And that is just heartbreaking.
I'll state this. As a developer, I can state this. They know.
Well,
they knew.
Even setting aside like you being a developer and me being able to talk to you or any of my other friends, like it's just like how many times we've read that story. It's like Cyberpunk and Anthem, where it's just like somewhere in that story where it's the story of what went wrong. There's always developers saying, "Yeah, we knew." There's nothing we could do about it. That's just
there's one thing.
There's nothing the developers could do about it. There's one thing that the people. Management could do about it, but I don't know if delaying Redfall would have helped. It would have helped, but I don't think it would have made it massively a better game. It's not like it's just buggy.
Yeah, I've seen.
We can get into it. We can get into it for sure. So Redfall, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like trending on Twitter right now. It's been trending for about 4 days. It's a co-op
And
first
not
person.
in a good way, Microsoft.
No. It's a co-op first person loot shooter RPG with vampires. I wrote a page of notes. I'm doing this thing. I told you about it last week or the week before, where it's like my notes, or I have to make sure my notes stick to a page, unless the game is like 70 hours long. Like I force myself to like really focus on the important stuff. And I was looking through my notes of what I've written as Redfall. It's like, what's the most important things? And it's just me complaining, essentially. When we boil it down, it's just me like, okay, cool. Everything's fucked. That's a great place to start. Like, and it's not even buggy. Like, it is buggy. It's very buggy. I'm sure people have seen, if they've been following the game or not. It's a very buggy game. I was sending Moody. I sent you a bunch of pictures of the textures that just did not load.
Yep.
Like, this wasn't popping. The game has popping. It has horrendous popping. Like, it's like a wave. like it's like it starts close and it just goes out and everything pops in like it like from near to far, like in sequence. But then there's just shit that doesn't have textures at all. And I sent you the pictures, and I just sent you the behold the power of the Xbox. It's like some fucking PS1 looking shit.
Yeah.
And like, it's a shame because like, I think the idea of it being set in this town is a really cool idea. And I think the art department like could really do a lot with that idea, but it just hasn't been executed on very well or at all. Like, the only positive I could take away from Redfall is like the environmental storytelling that loads is really good. Like, it's really good. There's notes everywhere and they're interesting, and they build out like the fiction of this like town that got fucked up by vampires. And like the way that they trap everyone is like, because it's on an island, and like you're trying to get off by a ferry, and they like bring the waves up and freeze them, so like all around the edges of the town it's just like this frozen like water, like not frozen as in like frozen in time. And it's just like, that's really fucking cool. But then you play the game and the game isn't good. I don't like to be that person, but it's just like the game's just not good. Like, I've played about 8 to 10 hours of it. Like, right from the moment you pick the controller up, like, there's something wrong with even just the controls. Like the looking, like on the right analog stick. Like, your home base in Redfall is a fire station. And the map bit that you get your missions from is upstairs, and you have to go upstairs, which go like wrap around, and every time I'm running up there, like, I'll run into the wall because it's fucking ludicrous how there's like, you push the stick and it does nothing for like a split second, and then it just goes whoosh, and you're off. Like, you can't aim. Like, I can't aim in this game, Moody.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Like, it's next to impossible. Like, fucking, it's a first-person shooter. It's not like Dead Island where I could swing massive hammers. I could really make up for it, like, you know, and I could aim in that game. But if like I could swing things, it wouldn't be a problem. But I could just shoot things, guns.
Yeah.
You ever tried using a sniper rifle when you can't fucking aim at people?
Yeah. Well, apparently, like, they did the Deathloop.
Yes.
Apparently, like, the first-person shooter, I think mechanics weren't the best in that as well. But they're even worse now in this game, obviously.
Yeah, no, like, Deathloop is an excellent game. It wasn't buggy, at least it wasn't when I played it. I don't really remember talking about bugs that much. I know I had issues with it, but like, they were weird issues that probably very few people had. And in this game, I just picked up the controller, and you gotta remember, I just played an arcane game. Like, even after Deathloop, I just did Dishonored.
Yeah.
Like twice for a video I made late last year, and it was just like I played that on Xbox and didn't have an issue playing through it, and like you just it's noticeable immediately. Like you start off on a boat and you're like, I was instantly just like, this doesn't feel good at all. And I was going through settings and turning off motion blur and trying to do the sensitivity, and then it's like the dead zone, like there's no dead zone settings, like aim down sights. For all like the wildness of aiming, if you like the aim down sights is really slow. And there's no like sensitivity setting for aiming down the sights. So you can't change that. So it's always going to be really slow. And it's just like, and vampires move. And you need to aim at them. So you just end up not aiming down the sights. And then because you're not aiming down the sights, your shots are missing all the time. And it just becomes this like, it's a cascade. Yeah, it's a cascade effect that starts from the right analog stick doesn't feel great. And then the dominoes just start falling over. Like, you couple that with the AI. I don't even know if can you call it? It's fucking terrible.
It's shit, Moody. It's shit.
Vampires run at you in a straight line. And sometimes they'll teleport, they'll go boosh, and they'll be beside you. But then they'll run at you in a straight line from that direction.
Yeah.
And you can dodge their attacks by strafing to the left. 100% of the time. I just, yeah. Like, if you just sidestep whenever they lunge at you, they won't hit you. And then the enemies that are the humans who shoot you with guns will hit you all the fucking time. Like, they can't fucking miss you. But they'll just run, and then they'll just stop dead and start shooting. And that's combat. And that's when they don't get stuck, because they can't path around objects in the environment.
Yeah.
So, like, they'll run out fucking lampposts or cars or chairs or anything like that. They'll run into each other. I don't know if, because I started saving clips to share with people, because I was like, I want to prove that this is happening.
Insane.
No, am I going insane? This is happening, right? I don't know what I saved or what I didn't. But I remember being down a street and I was just watching it. I had to go down a street. And there was human enemies, so I stopped and I crouched because I was like, I don't want them to see me. And then I was just watching them. And like there was 3 of them, and they were all walking in different directions, and they were all just stuck on each other. And I was just sat at the bottom of the street watching through a sniper scope, just like, what the fuck? What's happening? Like, speechless. Speechless. But yeah. And then, so combat's trivial. It's super easy. Unless you aggro more than 3 vampires at once. And then you're dead. You're going to get ganked to death. If you're by yourself. And that's when I made the realization. This is a co-op game. And we've known that for since it was announced. But what I mean by that is, this is a game that shouldn't have a single player mode. Because it's awful in single player. Like the probably the best missions in the game, and I use the bar's low when I say best, are vampire nests. Or it's like you go through a door into a weird other world and you've got to destroy a vampire nest by doing some stuff. And there's loads of vampires in there. And I did the second one I was doing was just full of, like, I try to kill 1 vampire and then 5 would attack me and I'd die. Because it's just, strafing to the left only works so much when there's 5 people trying to kill you. And then I realized, like, if there was other people with me, this would be fun, maybe. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be better. It wouldn't be frustrating. So I thought, okay, well, let me test that theory. We'll go online. There's no matchmaking.
Because no one's playing it.
No, there's 0 matchmaking. You can't. You can play a game with your friends, or you can play a game alone.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Come on.
You can't go into matchmaking.
Seriously?
It's a co-op game with no matchmaking. I couldn't believe it. I thought maybe I'll be able to, like, find the fun of Redfall if I just like play with some random people, blast around the town.
Yeah.
And I couldn't because no one I knew was playing it. Fair. And I couldn't just match up with random people. I was floored when I realized there's 2 buttons: host game, play game.
Bloody hell, man.
So I can't speak to the multiplayer, but I feel like that would be a better experience. Not just because of it's always more fun to play a game with your friends, but I feel like it would be more fun to do the fun things in this game with friends. Plus, I can just imagine how much of a laugh we'd be having at all of the jank.
Yeah, that's disappointing though. Like you want to be like we want to like we said on many occasions we want to be champion games and everything like that, but then it comes to big questions that obviously we'll get to in a minute after you finish your review for it and whatnot. But it's just like, damn, it was just disappointing. Like I know I said at the beginning, just as a joke, thinking I called it. I did not wish to call this. I did not. Whatsoever.
I was right, but I didn't want to be right.
Yeah. How is it that feeling right is so wrong sometimes? I'm right, but God damn it!
Because you're a decent person. It's like me. I don't want to be sitting here doing this, but I also do a podcast where I talk about my experiences with a video game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, all of my experiences with Redfall have been negative.
Like how you championed the Deathloop when that came out was one of your favorite games that year. And you've literally just done this year or the end of last year a video of Dishonored 2. A great video out there for everyone to go and see at youtube.com/wordsaboutgames.uk. Did I say that right?
Words About Games UK. There's no dot.
Yeah, UK. Okay, UK. That you should go and check out and everything like that, where you're championing this game and how much you love this game and everything, with all the different strategies and strategics and all this you can do on the game and
freedom.
And then you get this.
Then you get this. This is the thing.
I know. Everyone has a bad day at the office. There's no doubt about it. Everyone has a bad day at the office.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a multi-million-dollar offer.
This is a flagship title.
Yes.
I think people forget. Like, it's not as big as Starfield and Halo, but it's still a flagship Xbox title. But like Phil was on a podcast earlier. He was talking. I watched it, and they were talking about they're committed to, building the game out, fixing the bugs, like they talked about Sea of Thieves, which was fine at launch, by the way. Don't be dragging Sea of Thieves into this. I've had this argument already, but
I don't think it was as universally loved, though. I could see why.
Oh
people
God,
were
no! It found its audience.
Yeah, yeah, it took time, though.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it found me immediately.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I know.
I'm fucking. I have amazing game opinions and the best taste ever.
Exactly. Exactly.
But with Redfall, like they can go out and they can add content to it and they can fix the bugs. But like, I mean, the AI thing is it a bug or is it not? Is it just how the AI has been programmed and how do you fix that? The town is so sparsely populated with enemies and things to do. Like you can run through it and just not. Like I ran from a building where it was like, oh, you pick this thing up and you have to take it to another building. And I ran all the way to the building and just walked in. Because at this point I was fed up of like stealthing, which is pointless anyway. There's no point in stealth in this game. And I just walked in and I plugged the thing into the thing, and then you have to go down to the basement, and I went down to the basement and there was one guy in the basement and I shot him. Got the thing, went back upstairs, did it, and I was like, that was the mission. It was unbelievable, man. Like one enemy. The entire mission, there was one enemy. It wasn't even a boss or a mini boss. It was just a dude that I could strip to the left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jesus. And it's just like, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know how much of it is bugs and how much of it is like, this is just how the game was designed. Like
just bad gameplay design. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you remember when they talked about it in a video where they were like, oh, it's an immersive sim, but with elements of action RPG, open world stuff. And I said, that sounds good. And I've got no reason to distrust that because Arcane make immersive sims. It's not an immersive sim. Dead Island 2 has more immersive sim elements than Redfall. And I'm fine with developers like branching out and designing things that they don't normally design.
Yeah.
That's totally fine, right up until the point that they say the thing is in the game and then it's not in the game.
Yeah.
Because
Which we reported
that's
about.
not me putting past expectations on the current game. That's them doing that and then
Yeah.
it not delivering. That pissed me off a bit when I realized like there's shit all over the place. Like I was talking about with Dead Island, where it's like, you know, there's like things you can blow up and you can blow cars up. It's the funniest thing ever. It's like a fucking PS2 game explosion. But like, and you just shoot it twice and it goes boom, and that's it. But like, you don't use them. There's no point.
Yeah.
Like, the levels are designed in ways that you can enter them from multiple different doors, but it all funnels you to one thing, and then you have to find a key to get through a door, or find an item to get a thing, and then it's like, so it all funnels you into one place. So those branching things don't really matter. And they're really weird because sometimes you can just, if you go down a path that's not the front door, sometimes you can just walk through a level and find no enemies because you just circumvented them, and they're so stupid they can't figure out like you're there. Like, I got all the way through a warehouse level, round the back of the warehouse, and then I got to the objective, and it was a locked door, and then the guy through the window saw me and shouted on his megaphone, and I realized there's like 20 guys down there that I probably should have fought on the way in. But I just didn't, and they didn't spot me. And like, you can have a firefight on one floor of a hospital, right? Tiny hospital. I'm using hospital as an example, and the people on the next floor won't hear it. And you go upstairs and they're just chilling, and it's just like, you know, I've just fucking like exploded people downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Like, I opened a door once, thinking it was a door to a room, and it was a door outside. It was a different entrance to the room, and there's a guy just standing at the door guarding it, and two other guys walking, and I just went, huh. And they didn't react, so I just shut the door, and then walked away, and they didn't react to that at all.
Damn.
Yeah.
It sucks to hear this, like, seriously. So, like, I
I
feel for everyone who's Arcane fans like yourself and everything. I do.
mean, I'll be alright. There's plenty more gamers in the sea. And
Games in the sea. Yeah.
Games in the sea. And, you know, they'll make something else. It'll be awesome. And it'll be fine. Everyone has a blip.
Like I said, bad day at the office.
Bad day at the multi-million-dollar office. I've got more to say like that I could talk about, but I don't. It's like I don't want to start kicking, you know, while it's down. Like
The developers, while they're already down.
exactly right. It's like they knew that
Yeah.
people were going to have these issues, and there's more. Like, you know, the abilities and the progression is pointless, and the cutscenes don't exist.
A non-existence. Yeah, I've seen that. They're non-existent, which is really weird.
Characters.
So they literally
are
put all
just-
their money into that
Right?
trailer they showed at
It's like
Xbox last
I
year.
was like, you don't. They showed them off with these awesome cutscenes, and then like they're not in the game.
Yeah.
They don't exist. How's that happened? But it's Redfall, baby.
It's Redfall, and a game that sadly has just not lived up to the expectations I think everyone would expect, not only for a console exclusive, but a AAA game. Because this, at the end of the day, is backed by Microsoft, Xbox. They're owned by Xbox and everything. And this just continues the shitfest that has been Xbox over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Even though, last week, the CMA stopped blocked the Activision Blizzard deal. Even though everyone was like, "Oh my god, is this the end of Xbox?" Because their sales were down. Like you and me, just like when we were talking about last week, they're owned by Microsoft, a $2 trillion company. They're gonna be fucking fine, and they were still profitable. You fucking smegheads. But either way, but still, console sales down. That's not a great look or anything like that. I can't appreciate where people do talk about when it comes to that. And then it comes to this, a console exclusive that where everyone was been screaming, "Where are the games, Xbox? Where are the AAA games, Xbox? Where's this quadruple A Xbox? Where is it, Xbox? Where are the games, Xbox?" And they finally released the game. and it slaps in the ass. A AAA game slaps them in the face, basically. And that, again, that's disappointing, obviously, to the fans and everything who are fans of Xbox. And I don't give a fuck about the tribalism of Xbox for fanboys, blah blah blah. I just mean just for general gamers in the general gamers in overall, because like Amy, big fan of Arcane, loves that developer, has had a bad experience with one of their games, which is disappointing. And then it just comes to the whole crust of like, everyone was just excited of like when Microsoft buying Bethesda. Yes, Bethesda are going to be able to have a ton of money behind them, even though they already had a ton of money behind them
anyway.
they're gonna be able to do all of these things and blah blah blah. Blah, blah, blah. It hasn't really gone very well right now.
Well, game development is a marathon, not a sprint. You know.
Clearly, it really is, and this is the thing though about. But we have been like speaking about this for a while now. Like
some might say it before everybody else jumped on the bandwagon.
I think fucking way before anyone else jumped on the fucker. You were a little late, people, just so you know. Like State of Decay, studio apparently a mess. Perfect Dark, all over the place. Had to bring in Crystal Dynamics to try and shepherd the ship with that. 343 Industry, they sacked their entire management staff, basically, to overhaul it, to completely reboot Halo, which was rebooted at Halo 4. And Halo 5.
Twice.
And Halo 6. That franchise has been rebooted more times than a fucking MCU, more than a DCU movie.
I was going to say, hang on.
And everything. I said the wrong one. I apologize, Snyderverse people. That franchise died. But
Yay.
yeah, it's just like all the excitement that was like they're gonna bring all these games and everything, and it just seems like it's just the honeymoon period seems like it's fallen off.
Well, I don't think it helps when a game like Redfall drops. You know, like if Redfall had been good,
we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah. The honeymoon period probably continues like it did when Hi-Fi Rush came out. I'll have to get that later. Yeah. When Hi-Fi Rush came out, like, you know, everybody was happy with Hi-Fi Rush. It wasn't my game. It wasn't my cup of tea. I tried it and didn't enjoy it. That's why we never reviewed it. But Pentiment was the same last year.
Winning Q is everything. And sadly, they're on a bit of a losing streak right now. Or they've had a couple of punches to the face a little bit.
But,
go on.
No, I was just gonna. I don't know.
Okay. So basically, obviously, I've only watched like 10, 15 minutes of this interview right now, but Phil Spencer has finally come out of the shadows and he's had an interview with the Kind of Funny crew.
Shout out to Snowbike Mike.
Snowbike Mike, Gary Whitaker, and I don't know who the other guy is. I cannot remember his name.
Paris.
Which is terrible on me, but
Paris.
I don't really... Who? Paris. Thank you very much. And Paris. And Phil Spencer came out in Shadows, so definitely like that. So, what do you want to talk about when it comes to this like whole thing and whatnot?
Well, I mean, the first thing
you've watched all of it, so I haven't yet. So.
The first thing that pissed me off with the thing is the news story I dropped as part of this review, which I'm not going to read, because the general gist of it is, you know, everybody's talking about Starfield, like online. Like it was started by, I think, some guy that works at IGN. I don't keep up with many people who work at publications, but I think it was an IGN guy. He was just like, well,
it sounds like an IGN person.
This makes me worried for Starfield.
Was it Ryan McCaffrey?
It wasn't. No. I remember Ryan McCaffrey. That's all I'll say about that. You know, this makes me worried about Starfield, which is like, you know, I respect your opinion. I respect your right to tell it. But they're two completely different development studios.
Yeah.
That would be like me drinking this orange juice and being like, oh, this orange juice doesn't taste very good. Well, now I'm really worried about the ice cream that I've got in my freezer.
Yeah.
Like, they're both
why is that?
forms of sustenance.
I want to ask you, why is that before I get into my thoughts with this?
Well, I know we've been talking about mismanagement at Microsoft. In, like, not necessarily mismanagement at Microsoft, but we've been a bit worried by the way that a lot of studios are having a lot of problems. And maybe it needs strong leadership from the top, but like it does annoy me because they are two, and I'm not Like, if Starfield comes out and it's buggy as shit, I'm not going to be out here swinging bats to defend it. It's not my kind of thing. Bethesda RPGs never have been. But, like, if it comes out and it's busted up and buggy and broken, that's every Bethesda developed RPG ever. Like, way before they got taken over by Microsoft. They're two different development studios, and it grinds my gears a little bit to think, like, the state of Redfall has anything to do with Starfield.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Because if you want to draw that line, you draw that line from Hi-Fi Rush to Redfall, right? Because we just had Hi-Fi Rush in January, made by Tango Gameworks. Excellent, impeccably made. And Pentiment just before that. And, you know, games going back. I know it came out on PlayStation initially, but, you know, it was developed partially while they were owned by Xbox, which was Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, which both came out with no issues. Few issues. And like, you're taking, it's catastrophizing. You're taking the one thing that went wrong and going, oh, this means this might be bad, where it's like, well, that's one out of like 6 examples.
I think what you're saying is completely spot on. I think Arcane are completely different to the main studio of Bethesda, which is obviously doing Starfield. There's no doubt about it. I see where people can get think a little too much about this. So where I come from this, I see where they're coming from a certain point, because last time we had a PlayStation exclusive that was God of War Ragnarok, universally loved, critically acclaimed. I can never remember running into any bug in that game whatsoever. I may have, I just never realized whatsoever. And it was just fantastic. And that's because this is what, at the end of the day, it comes back to the thing of that we want to champion not just one type of game, we want to champion all type of games, even if it doesn't work for us, type of thing. And then obviously next week we've got the behemoth, which is probably going to take over the award season all this year in Zelda 2. Breath of the Wild 2. I can't remember. Tears of the Kingdom?
Adventure of Link.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Came out like 1987. Tears of the Kingdom, yeah.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild 2. I'm so going to get hit for that. I'm going
to tell Joe you said that.
Tell Joe to tell that. I haven't seen him for a while. He's been hiding, hasn't he? And he looks weird without his mustache now.
I'm going
to tell him so weird. Now. He's shaved, and it's freaking me out.
You
but the thing is, he didn't suit the fucking mustache either. That's just even more weirder. But no, yeah. Are you calling him?
Moody just called Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild 2 on the podcast. I just thought you should know. We've been sending each other voice notes. Hold on. I just need to clarify something. And also, we're recording this, so this is actually in the podcast. Hope you're well. See when it gets that. Sorry, I just told. Yes, Zelda is gonna fucking destroy
everything next week and everything. Yeah. It's gonna be the only conversation for the while until probably June.
Probably, probably
until Jeff Keighley's summer stupid fest and all that. And where Xbox will finally talk again and they'll say, we're sorry about Redfall, but here's all these games. Sorry, Amy, we lied about Hollow Knight.
And Forza. And Starfield.
And Starfield, yeah. But no, getting back to this, like, I understand where, like, people do come from, like, where everyone asks where are the games. Like, Xbox only released, like, 3 exclusives last year. And, like, they were just, like, I'm not saying this is a bad thing or that, because I work in AA development. When that's for my studio.
Games are super easy to make, right?
Yeah, it's super easy. Yeah, fucking easy as hell. It is so easy to change and make the engine fucking phenomenal.
You make the game.
Just hold it back and piss off the gamers for the heck of it.
You just make the game in a week and then see how long you can get away with not releasing it, right? That's how it works.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's what Half-Life 3's been doing for years.
How much? How can we draw this out?
Yeah. But no, it's where they're coming from, but what you're saying is completely facts. Yeah, there's completely different studios, even though they are under the same they were under the same branch as Bethesda, but they're all obviously under all the subsidiary to Microsoft now or Xbox. And yeah, we'll just see what happens for it. I'm not excited for Starfield either way. The gameplay when it was showed didn't look the greatest. I was just like, that kind of looks boring. And even though years ago, like when I came back into gaming, like 2012, 2013, like I loved Skyrim. I did. Skyfield, yeah. Skyrim. I loved Skyrim. I was just like, what? This is absolutely amazing. But then I've kind of also like just now moved on from it. I've played other games. I've played better RPGs than that. Sorry, people. Sorry, not sorry. And it's when a game has become a fucking meme of releasing itself over and over and over again, it's like it's kind of tiresome.
Yeah, no, I mean, Fitz, I made some of these points to Fitz yesterday when we were DMing about it, and I mentioned Fallout 3 and Skyrim, and he was like, well, those were amazing games, but yeah, they were buggy, you know. I just went, and I sent him the meme, you know, of the football guy who's just like, do not speak. If I speak, I'll get in trouble about Fallout and Skyrim. It's not worth me opening my mouth about what I think about those games. Anyway.
You've just reviewed Redfall.
Skyrim and what did I say? Skyrim and Fallout.
I thought you said Starfield and Redfall.
Fallout and
Did I mishear you? My apologies.
Either I misspoke or you misheard me. I meant Skyrim and Fallout. Whatever I said, I meant Skyrim and Fallout. I don't know what Starfield's like. I haven't played it. I'm not one of those people that runs around telling people a game is good that I've never or bad that I've never even fucking played. I'm not a gamer.
Wait, what?
One of the things that came out of Phil's interview, awesome. One of the things that came out of Phil's interview,
self-high five to that. Just high five that. There we go. High five that.
one of the things that came out of Phil's interview, kind of funny, that blew my mind, was that they had mock reviewers. So the game is currently, spoiler alert for the end of the podcast, sitting on a 62 on OpenCritic.
And that was my answer last week, just a reminder.
Sure, I'm absolutely sure. Yeah. I mean, it's written down, so we'll find it. But he said the mock reviewers were more than double digits away from that score. So the mock reviewers, for anyone that doesn't know what mock reviews are, companies do it. Actually, Moody, do you want to explain it? Because, you know, first-hand
mock
knowledge.
Reviewers are developers are getting people to play the game to review it, and then just to see where they may land on if they were to review the game, so they know like where they think the ballpark's going to be.
Mm-hmm. And these people play the games. They're not like us doing OpenCritic Head-To-Head where we just guess.
Yes. Yeah.
So like it blows my mind, not because I think that they were so far wrong. I'm sure that happens plenty. Because, you know, that's just how opinions work, and that's what reviews are. They're not objective, they're opinions. But
wait, what?
To play the game that I played this week, and then to know that like they're so far off, it flabbergasts me a bit. Like, I'm not going to hold on to this point, and like it's not a particularly important point. It just that stuck out to me because it was like, did we play the same game? Like,
yeah.
Like, I know I can be harsh on games from time to time, but I mean,
yeah,
fundamental issues. You know, it's not like a game I didn't like that other people would. It's like this game has fundamental issues at the moment.
Yeah, that it is really weird, but also like I would also ask the question of like to Phil Spencer himself of like, you play these games as well, you never noticed this, so what build do you have? And why didn't you release those builds of this game?
Phil Spencer plays all his games on 8 Xbox Series X's duct taped together so that you never has any bugs.
Yeah. It just erases all the bugs and then boom.
And then everyone's like, "Yep, that's the build."
60K.
Meanwhile, there's server farms on fire in the studio. Like that rolls into my next question. It was just like, why'd this get released?
Yeah. If this was like this, and we all know the studio would have known this, Xbox would have known this, Phil Spencer would have known this, his team would have known this, and everything like that, then the question comes to, why the fuck was this not delayed? It should have been delayed. Take the hit. Yeah. Rather take the hit than delay it to get bad PR from that. And say, oh man, it was almost out and everything like that. Come on. Thinking, But overall, people, gamers, the community, video gamers are very overall. They bite, but they are overall
but
if it's going to get a good game in the end. Because at the end of the day, you're getting nothing but you've had nothing but bad PR the last 2 weeks.
the delay
You're
would
getting
have
more
would have
bad PR
been
because-
dwarfed almost immediately by Zelda
Yeah, that's the thing about it. You're spot on.
and Star Wars. Like, depending on when they delayed it, like big games have come out, and like, you know, our attention span is famously limited.
Very limited. Very, very limited. And yeah, and it's just like, did they bow to pressure? Not bow to pressure. Did they fall to the pressure of like people saying, "Where are the AAA games? Where are the AAA games?" and everything like that for the exclusive AAA games that you've promised and everything? And it's just like, have they bowed to that pressure? But it's like,
Potentially.
why? Why would you? You don't need to. Yes, yes. Hardware sales may be down for you, but at the end of the day, you're still making money.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange one. Like, he did talk about it a bit about like releasing timings and stuff like that in the interview, which I'll link it in the description. I think everybody should go and watch it. It's really good. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, Snowback Mike's a cool motherfucker. But it's such a strange situation to sit down and play the game and know that it came out like this when it didn't have to. Like, I get it. Like, like as someone who has pursued creative interests for a long time, like sometimes you do just have to cut yourself off and say, right, I'm done. Otherwise you'll never be finished, because that's just how it works. But this needed time. And I'm not like some of the problems that I mentioned in when I was just talking about the game, and I think other people probably have mentioned in their reviews, are fundamental. Like, it's not just a case of bugs and polish and doing a bit of extra design work, but like they could have at least polished it up into a functional game that would have come out and been fine. You know, like Dead Island. When I talked about that last week, Dead Island 2, I had a fun time with it. It was a fine game. No more than that. I didn't think I'd sit down and play Redfall and have fond memories of playing Dead Island 2. And that's no knock on Dead Island 2.
I just want to say this. You're saying literally everything that Skill said.
Seriously?
He said that.
I haven't watched this video yet. I don't watch. This is why I don't watch people's reviews and stuff before I do this, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want.
I knew I was never going
words.
to play this game, so I was okay. So I didn't mind watching it. But oh my god,
I love the fact that I'm just like basically a skill up right now. Can I have some subscribers?
Yeah, can we have some subscribers, Skill? What have we got? 800.
Yeah, just send them over.
Yeah, a couple. We'll take a couple of 200, like 200.
Yeah, no, like Dead Island 2, like it's such a weird thing to go from that game to Redfall, and like what those two games were, and then development cycles and what was promised and pre-release and all this, and then to just like come out the other end with these two. I don't know, it's strange, but
yeah,
you know, I saw someone. I didn't read the review. Someone shared the article on Twitter, like retweeted it. It was from a website with the review titled "Good Enough for Game Pass," and I was just like, "You can cut that shit out right now."
Oh,
it's harsh.
That's
and
harsh.
It's a burn, but it's like, can we just like acknowledge the fact that amazing games come out on Game Pass as well? Like, Game Pass is not going to should not be a dumping ground for bad games, and actually isn't.
Yeah,
but I wasn't a fan of that headline.
that's a bit spiteful. No doubt about it. That's a bit.
It just seems like, why? Who hurt you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what did Microsoft do to you?
He didn't get caught for it. He had to play it on Game Pass. But no, yeah, it's massively disappointing. What's even more crazy for this is that obviously this is in Game Pass, but they were selling this at retail, which is like $70.
$70.
Yes, which is just disgusting, knowing what the state is in this game and everything.
Last week when I played Dead Island and I said, like, I don't know, like, I enjoyed it because I rented it. I don't know if I would have been happy if I'd spent 70 quid on it. If I'd spent 70 quid on Redfall, I probably would have smashed my Xbox in half.
Yeah, I think you might have been a lot more harsher on your review.
I don't know if I necessarily would have been harsher, because I try not to think of the fact, because of the, like, you know, I try not to think of like value, like in terms of money, because I'm just not that kind of person. Like, if I spent £70 and got a game that was 4 hours long and it was one of my favorite games of all time, I'd be like, yeah, cool. Then it was worth £70. But
Oh yeah, no doubt.
like, yeah, no, like that must fucking suck for people who have spent 70 quid on this game and
Yeah.
gotten what it is. And I hope for their sake that the work that goes into the game going forward improves it. In some ways, I know it's not going to fix the whole thing.
Obviously, we want the game to be working for everybody and everything like that. But my ultimate thing is just like, how long is this going to actually live? Honestly, realistically, I know they've got the money to put behind it, and they can take a hit in the face if they want to, and then just get it all sorted, and hopefully get this game working in a working, good, acceptable state, and just then leave it be, or just take a hit now and just bow out. And just
Microsoft
take a hit
don't
and say,
bow out.
I know that's the thing about it.
Like, no, I'm just thinking. Sorry, I'm just thinking like through all the games like that they've released in the last few years. It's like they don't cut and run like Square Enix, for example.
Yeah.
So I think they might actually commit to.
Oh, if they get this fixed and we come back and like say you play it again and say it's working, Moody, and it's really, really good, I am so happy for that, and I'm excited for that for people and everything. But then it just comes to the back of the thing. But if it's like say if it's like say a year's time, then we'll just come back to the thing of you should have delayed this a year. Yes, you may have lost money and everything like that. That's fair. But you're fucking Xbox under Microsoft, for fuck's sakes. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
This is the thing about it.
It's like when an indie game comes out and it's in a state. It's because they were running out of money and they didn't have a choice. They had to release it or not.
Yeah.
Xbox weren't running out of money. They're Xbox. They could have paid the support development for another 12 months. And it would have been, people would have had their fun. Memes would have been made. Laughs would have been had. Some people would have gotten angry. Some people would have taken, their prepubescent, adolescent, impotent rage out on some community managers on social media. But everybody would have moved on. I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand how these decisions get made sometimes.
Don't understand it either fully on my end, even though like I'm in development and whatnot. There's still things I still don't fully understand. Ultimately is like what you said, like indie development and everything like that, and even I would say AA development. It's the money side of it. But Microsoft are a $2 trillion company, which we've already spoken about on multiple occasions. They could have done this. For fuck's sakes, they're trying to push through a $70 billion acquisition of Activision, for God's sakes. And it's just when you hear all these things and you see all these things and whatnot, and you just go, what the hell?
What just
happened?
Now the
question, what happened? And I understand where people may be now a little trepidatious, not only probably for Starfield, for some other games coming further down the line. We've heard fuck all about Fable since they revealed that teaser trailer when we already knew about Fable before they revealed it and everything. What the hell's happened with Forza? Forza was meant to come out earlier this year. That's been pushed. Maybe if they just made the decision, Fall is a better place for this, that's fantastic and everything. And I hope, the people who love Forza, I'm sure it's going to come out and it'll be like a 90, 92, whatever on OpenCritic and get all the critical love as always. But that's just a racing game. You need a multiple different type of things. What they've said they want to do. If Starfield comes out and that shits the pan, what the hell then? And then obviously there's Hellblade 2, which overall I think Hellblade 2 will probably be fine. They are a competent developer, hopefully.
But they're all competent developers. Arcane Studios is a competent developer as well.
Yeah, and it's just like we'll see what happens. Like, hopefully Halo will come back and be the franchise seller that they wanted it to bloody be.
If this is just a bumpy road to sunlit uplands for Microsoft.
Hope so. I want to be by at the end of the year, which is us saying like, Starfield may not have been for us, but fucking hell has talk about it being incredible, and that's amazing, and we champion that.
I want to be, and this is very specific. I want to be bitch slapping Joe Medforce, telling him, "Fuck Zelda, Hellblade was Game of the Year." That's what I want to be doing, very specifically. It's a very
And I'll be
specific
there to
dream.
slap them there with you.
It's a very specific dream. But we've went way over. I thought we were going to do for Redfall. Do you have anything else to talk about Redfall, Microsoft?
Redfall, when it comes to Redfall, like, no, I obviously haven't played the game. I was never intending to play the game.
And
I feel for the fans who have been excited for this game and everything, who has been, at the end of the day, have had basically a punch to the chin. I feel for the developers, but at the end of the day, you would know this. You know this has been thing. So then it goes to the management and everything, and then Phil Spencer, eyes are all on you now. And I think, personally, it's maybe a little bit like too high, like, well, ooh, it's do or die type of thing, and it's not meant to come out this, but it's going to come out like this either way. All eyes are on you on June now. I'm very intrigued now what you got on June, because if you don't come banging in June, but June is a lackluster, because for us last year, we thought that was brilliant. The next 12 months, that is ace marketing there. That's brilliant. Tells us everything. We can appreciate if some of the games get delayed and everything. That is development. It's fucking not very difficult, people, and whatnot. But we all said, oh, that was great. That was a really good conference. We had a lot of fun with that. But other podcasters that we all watched and listened to were like, this and everything like that. Where are the games and all like that?
Where was that? Like,
yeah,
clearly not coming in the next 12 months. The issue they're going to have in June is that last year, I think it's fair to say that their 3 headline games were Redfall, Forza, and Starfield. Would you say that was fair?
For this year, it seems like it, yes.
Yeah, for like their last E3 press conference. So they're going to go into a showcase.
E3,
they're going to go into a showcase this year, and two of their headline games are going to be Forza and Starfield.
Wasn't Starfield going to have a separate thing?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, so...
But it's still going to be one of the headliners.
But it's still going to be the same banner, yeah. I know what you mean, though, yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of the headliners, right? It's like they can't... Like, you can wish for all 20 of these games that, Microsoft are working on to show up, but they can only release so many games in 12 months, right? So, like, the 2 big things for 2023 are probably going to be Forza and Starfield, and that's the same as last year. So, I praise the marketing that they did of E3 last year, because I think it's a really good and solid marketing plan. And yeah, games get delayed. That happens. But they're walking into a trap of their own making here, because in E3 2023, their headliners are going to be the same as E3 2022. With the same marketing of like, here's the next 12 months. Looks a lot like the last 12 months, doesn't it?
That we know of, and they may change things now. But that's the thing. The things are already locked probably in for this thing already for in June. They probably could change a couple of things if they wanted to, but nothing drastically.
What, a month?
Because obviously it's trying to get
5 weeks.
Basically, yeah. It's like 4 weeks away, 6 weeks away, 4 5 weeks away, something like that. They would only be able to. It all depends on how fast they will be able to get a trailer sorted if they want to try and bring something. So if something that's not there, and they feel like, oh shit, we gotta have something there now, say Fable, or say Fable's not there, but they want to now have to show this. They feel like they have to. Do you feel like they're gonna push themselves into a corner?
I don't want, like, if they could, like, you know what I mean? They could do that, and if it's ready to rock, fucking go for it. They should definitely do it. But if they start doing that, then, the trap of their own making I was just talking about, like, it's going to be an even bigger, like, worse trap to walk into next year. Then it's just a bigger hole that you're digging at that point. I'm going to mix my metaphors. And like, they don't want to do that. If they're going to stick to this, like, marketing approach, which I think they should do, like, I think it's the best way to approach and showcase for Xbox, at least for the next few years, while they're still spitting everything up to speed with all of their acquisitions. Like, that's definitely, the approach that they should take. So I think they should stick to it. Like, I don't think they should suddenly be coming out going, check out Everwild, and when we know it's not going to be around for like 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? It's like, don't show me a game I'm not going to be able to play with a controller in my hand. Within the next, like,
2 years.
18 months, 2 years. Yeah, exactly. Tease me a little bit of like some stuff that's going to be like, we're going to show this off next year and you're going to fucking love it. It's going to blow your minds. Like, here's like, you know what I mean? Like Fable do that, but don't give me like a trailer for a Fable game that's 4 years away.
Yeah.
We've
When
got
we saw
Avowed. I
it
think
was
Avowed is probably going to be up this summer.
It's probably the well, we would hope. But yeah,
I
Avowed.
think Avowed, Hellblade, Forza, and Starfield are probably like
what's
the
the
next
space
ones
one?
up to bat.
Outer Wilds, Outer Rims,
Outer Worlds 2. Outer Worlds 2 is it's Obsidian making a lot of games like they used to. They used to do contract work, so they used to turn around games quickly. But like you'll see Avowed before you see Outer Worlds 2, and that's fine.
You think?
Yeah.
I would say we saw more of Outer Worlds 2 than Avowed. Avowed was just that's all it was.
Outer Worlds 2
and then he walked forward.
Outer Worlds 2 is a joke trailer. That was all we saw.
Like you said, we saw more.
Like
they kept with the jokey beat.
It was a pre-rendered movie, basically.
So the Redfall trailer.
Don't get me started. Again.
Sorry.
Like it's an interesting one. It's an interesting question, and it's one we'll answer in like 5 weeks, and I'll be sat in that. I'll be in there when we answer that question. I'll be in that room when I finally find out that Hollow Knight's not coming out for another year, and the meme continues.
The meme will continue. Oh, the meme will be I forgot to say, Happy May the 4th, everyone.
Yeah, it's May the 4th.
When we're recording, it's technically the May the 4th. And when it drops, it's
not.
May the 6th be with you.
Star Wars.
Play
Star Wars.
Nothing but Star Wars.
Anyway. Indie Game of the Week.
Indie Game of the Week this time.
Didn't play a demo this week. On purpose. It wasn't like I forgot. What I did was I wanted to talk about this one that blew up on social media, like on Twitter and TikTok a couple of weeks ago, called Grave Seasons, which is a farming sim. This isn't actually from a Steam page. There is no Steam page. This is from the Twitter. From the Twitter?
The Twitter.
From the Twitter.
At long last, Elon Musk has changed the name. The Twitter. Just like Facebook was the Facebook, we've now gone back to the Twitter.
He changed the name of the corporation that owns Twitter to X Corp. It's all going well on Twitter. You saw the whole Mario movie got leaked on Twitter. You could watch it for like 8 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is Grave Seasons.
I feel like I've wasted my money to see that movie. I should have just waited.
I should have just watched it on Twitter. What a sentence. This is Grave Seasons. It's our indie game of the week. It's a farming sim, so it's a very Stardew Valley-esque game. But every time you start a new game, a random NPC is selected to be the murderer. So it's also a murder mystery game. And you've got to manage your farm. And also this random NPC will murder people in the village. And you've got to figure out like who it is. And it's random every time you play the game. That sounds fucking amazing.
Is this the Among Us 2 we've been waiting for, Amy?
It's Stardew Valley, but it's also Knives Out. Benoit, whatever the fuck Daniel Craig's name is, because I haven't seen it for years. But he also tends farm.
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Ignore it.
It's by Perfect Garbage Studios. It's coming TBA. You'll probably see more of it this summer, I would imagine. This June, we'll see it somewhere. Probably Wholesome Games Direct, maybe. But
if it's blown up on Twitter, you know Keely's like, I must get this.
No. Keely's not going to be interested because it's not a horror game and it doesn't star Troy Baker, so he's not going to be that bothered.
And it's not a AAA game.
Yeah. But it's Grave Seasons. I'd say wishlist it, but there's no Steam page at the moment. So what I've linked in the description below is the developer's Twitter. Go follow that for updates.
Well, that doesn't help me.
Doesn't help you. Helps me though.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm sitting inside the middle of the Titanic as it sinks, laughing at the chaos unfolding around me.
So the band's not playing?
No, that's it. I'm one of the band members. I I did that on Sea of Thieves once. We ended when we played the beta, me, Keith, Russ, and Mark, and we decided at the end of the beta we were going to scuttle the ship, and as it was sinking, we all got our instruments out and just played a sad song as it went down.
Hymns of the Faith, beautiful song.
Yeah. All right.
That's half time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching or listening, you'll see a quick cut to the future, but that's not a quick cut for us. We're actually going to go and do stuff. So I don't know if this is going to pick up, but let me try it. This is Joe's response.
Oh, I am very well. I also need...
No, I can't hear anything.
It's not flashing green, is it? This stupid microphone. I paused. Hold on.
Oh, words about games, Daffy and Moody. And of course,
Yeah, I
lovely,
can.
amazing Amy. It is the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And the
can
name
hear
of
him.
that sequel is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Except no substitutes. Love you guys.
I heard the back end of it there and everything like
Alright.
that, but I didn't hear the opening part.
Hopefully the recording picks
I can
it
get
up.
over. I can get over that.
He was just
If
being very nice
If I
and
heard it, you
complimentary.
recorded should have heard it.
If he's just being very nice and complimentary about us because you know how Joe is. I'm just gonna quickly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
He's a wimp.
Fuck off.
Like he
Joe's
got
one of the
Sonic 2
loveliest
wrong. He
people
got
I've
Avatar
ever
2
met.
wrong. It's like, and then in 2024, Avatar 3 is going to cripple Sonic 3 because they released it around the same time. It's like, oh my god, Sonic is finally going to die next year at long last.
No, he died on April Fool's Day. It was a whole game about it.
Love you, Joe. Miss you, mate. I hope we want to get you back on, mate.
Yeah, we need to start getting people back on the podcast in general. That was a me thing. Like, you know, the game came out in February and my mental health went through the Earth's crust to the core of
That's
the planet, and I just didn't
That's
really
fair.
want to deal with anyone.
That's fair.
You know. We've talked about
I
it
know.
a lot.
I know.
Yeah,
I talked
right.
about it, screamed about it, everything.
Okay. It's Moody's time to shine.
It's Moody's time to shine. It's my time to
Although
shine.
I feel like
my
you
neck.
shone quite well in the first half of the podcast as well.
Oh, thank you. I thought I was just dribbling and drabbling and rambling as
That's
always.
the whole podcast.
Oh, all right then.
That's the
Why are we
premise.
called the Words About Games then? We should be called the Ramble.
The Dribble Drabble
Podcast.
Games podcast.
The Dribble Drabble Games Podcast. Yes, there it is. The new name of Words About Games, the Dribble Drabble Podcast. The Dribble Drabble Ramble Podcast. Yes.
Dribble Drabble Ramble podcast.
Hell yeah.
If we ever make
like
a
it.
podcast where we just talk about, where we just shoot the shit like we've talked about every now and again,
That's the name.
That's what we'll call it.
The
The
Dribble
Dribble
Drabble
Drabble
Ramble
Ramble
Podcast.
podcast.
Right, there's that. We've got it recorded. Done.
No, I don't trust myself. And this is like
Yeah.
an hour and 15 minutes deep. So, I dropped my pen though.
Oh no, we've recorded it. It's all good. The Dribble Drabble Ramble Podcast.
Hold on. I'm just
Try
gonna...
saying that 5 times fast.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to fucking have to. If I have to fucking dribble, drabble, ramble podcast. So you can expect that coming out sometime in 2023. Because naming it's half the battle.
I mean, it is half the battle. There's no doubt about that. There we go. Let's go for some awards, Amy. Cult of Lamb wins Game of the Year at the Gayming Awards 2023.
Gaming with a Y. That's the kind of gamer I am. You asked me before.
Did I?
You did. I said, I'm not a gamer. And you were like, well, what are you? And I said, awesome. And then we high-fived. What I should have said is I'm a gamer with a Y. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
in
this
for that.
was
Why
this
not?
was you dropped this in Discord last week, and I just completely fucking blew past it last week. And then
Sounds
I
like
saw
something
it.
that happens.
I saw it this week, and I was like, I'm gonna put it in this week. It's from Marie De Lissandria at Games Industry Shop Peers, who writes, the winners of the 3rd Annual Gaming Awards were revealed last night, with Cult of the Lamb winning Game of the Year. The ceremony took place in New York, crowned Ashley Birch as this year's gaming icon, again, gaming with a Y. which is an award given to an individual, quote, in recognition of their contribution to the LGBTQ community within gaming by giving voice to so many LGBTQ characters, end quote. So, should we go through the list of nominees, winners?
If you wish.
Some of them, anyway. I mean, Cult of the Lamb won Game of the Year. I didn't play it.
Yeah. Neither did I. I bought it. Completely forgot to play the fucker. But let's go, Amy. Let's go.
What else? Stray won the Gaming Magazine Readers Award. Didn't play that either.
Neither did I.
It's on my PlayStation. I want to stream it because it's the cat game.
So if only something was happening in June.
Yeah, well, we could do it. Yeah, after signing. Well, have you got PS Plus?
I've got it. I've got it.
Cool. That one good.
I've got it. Yeah.
Gaming Icon Award went to Ashley Birch. Love it. I was just watching her actually. She's in Mythic Quest. I just watched Mythic Quest season 3. And she's very good in that. It's a very good show. What are you looking up?
Oh yeah. I remember her. Yeah.
I was like, you're looking something up because like.
Hell yeah, because I was
the
like,
lighting on
I know
your
the
face.
name, I just couldn't put a face to the name.
The lighting on your face changed. That's not on you were looking up. It's like when Russell used to be on the podcast and he's got that cabinet behind him with the glass door. So whenever he was like browsing the web, we could see him.
Aloy, she's Aloy.
Yeah, she's Aloy, yeah.
That's how I remember that.
She is. That's
And she's voiced someone in Life is Strange. I must know this. I know she was the main character in Dragon Age Absolution, the TV show that came out on Netflix. Which was alright, by the way.
I didn't know that. Oh,
She's Chloe.
That.
She plays Chloe Price.
I did know
in
that.
Life is Strange. Interesting.
She's
fascinating.
She's done a lot of good stuff.
Anyway. She has. She's been phenomenal. So,
what we got? Where are we? Best LGBTQ plus indie game Wildflowers from Studio Dry Dock. LGBTQ plus Streamer of the Year award Drag Trashly. LGBTQ plus Streamer Rising Star Class of 23 Between Two Gays, which is a fantastic name. That Jason Ryan, apparently. Authentic Representation Award. I was a teenage exocolonist from Northway Games and Finji. I played this.
Have you?
We did a whole thing on the podcast last year. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a very, very good game. Very good. Best LGBTQ plus Character Award goes to Law in New Tales from the Borderlands. Industry Diversity Award went to Glitch. Best LGBTQ plus Contribution to Esports Award went to Xset. And then there was a Best LGBTQ plus Tabletop Game of the Year award, which went to Adventuring with Pride, A Queero's Journey. I'm fucking loving it. And then the Best Comic Book Moment award went to Young Men in Love by Joe Glass and Matt Minter, and A Wave Blue World.
Congratulations to all the winners. This one's slowly coming on the radar of like awards to obviously keep an eye out and everything like that, because it's obviously with great, awesome representation, which we should always be talking about. So, fantastic to all the winners and everything, and congratulations.
I need to play more gay games. That's what this has taught me. This experience has taught me that I need to play more gay games this year.
Well, you're the resident gay out of both of us, Amy. I'm amazed you haven't been doing this. I'm amazed you haven't been, like, they haven't already been on your radar. Like, I'm just pansexual. You freaking, like, you are representing more than me, sweetheart. So, like, how
Look,
you
just because I'm more letters in the acronym than you, it's not a fucking competition, all right?
You're letting the side down here.
Fine, I'm going to play exclusive. Is there any gayness in Bramble? I'm going to play exclusive gay games from now on. I'm rebranding.
I played the fifth.
Played the fifth, I'll bet you did. No, yeah, I definitely need to play more of the games that show up on this. Like, I know the awards exist. I just reading
this
through.
Is the third year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so like I think if I remember rightly, like
I'm sure we did this last year.
No, I think we did last year, but I think we did the first year as well, where I think the first one, what won Game of the Year was Life is Strange True Colors.
I feel like I remember that. If it wasn't Game of the Year, it was something.
Yeah.
Um,
And if it wasn't Game of the Year, what the fuck's going on? Like, hello.
like Life is Strange. Excuse me. But yeah, no, I just,
You like
I just,
Life is Strange,
I was, I love Life is Strange. I was reading through that list of games, and I was just like, man, I needed to play more of these.
Yeah. Yeah, we can have a conversation of that, and like how while we're waiting for conferences and everything like that, we can find the gear games.
We can find the games.
Find the gear games.
We'll have an on-screen gator for game reveals.
Like I've already got Life is Strange True Colors installed. Like we've already said we're playing through that again because we obviously we got to hook up with Ashley again. Like, come on,
Ashley.
Who is dressing more and more like her, by the way. I'm just waiting for you to get a dutty to wear a hat and everything.
Oh, I mean, I can sort that out right now. You're gonna laugh when you see what it is. What were we just talking about for the first hour of the podcast?
Nothing at all.
But we're gonna romance Ashley.
Yes,
Is that who we're gonna romance?
that is the plan.
That's the plan.
That is the plan.
Ashley.
We can do Ryan if you want.
Are you sure it's Ashley?
Steph.
There it is.
Steph. Oh my god. I'm done for the night. See you later. I have to go and hang my head in shame. Bye.
I'm sitting I'm sitting here thinking, how many times am I gonna have to say the words before he realizes he didn't mean Ashley? Because it's Steph, and he's right. I am dressing more and more like Steph as time goes on, and it's not intentional. It's also Moody's time to shine. I feel like Moody just fucked his entire time to shine. What's he gonna do though? That's the question. It's getting awkward. He's wearing the Pikachu hat. Cool. Any minute you want to come back. This isn't getting really awkward. Hi,
What? Hello.
For our audio listeners, Moody was gone for at least a minute.
Yeah. I have to go and hang my head in shame, Amy.
I was like, if I keep asking him, he'll get it eventually.
It's one of my favorite games of all fucking time, and I disgraced by naming the best romance out there by naming her wrong.
You did. And no, if we play Life is Strange 2 Colors and you try to romance Ryan, I'm going to punch you in the head.
That's fair. Even though Ryan's a great romance, I've stated that. I've romanced the man in that game. He was fucking phenomenal. But yes, Steph is the way. Steph is the way. Like Din Djarin says, this is the way.
It's not like it's my phone background or anything.
No.
Where do you want to go next?
To not hang my head in shame, please.
That's really up to what you say next.
You know what? Let's go to the story that I asked you to keep last week. Blizzard puts together a crisis map of games if it cannot ship due to staff losses, says reports.
This is from Rhiannon Bevan over at The Gamer. He writes, almost 2 years since allegations of workplace abuse come to light, Blizzard is still losing too many workers to sustain itself. That's according to current employees venting their frustrations on Twitter, blaming poor leadership and a forced return to work order that put an end to working from home. Due to this, workers say that Blizzard has put together a crisis map deciding which games it can and cannot launch with its current staffing levels. This is far from the position Blizzard would like to find itself in, considering the multiple live services it has to keep afloat in its ongoing merger with Microsoft. Yes, this was written before the CMA decision came through. As reported by IGN, the first worker to vent their frustrations was Twitter user Adam Glaxagrav, who said that the team had lost, quote, another person this week. Blizzard is losing amazing talent because someone in power doesn't listen to the game directors who make his products. I just want to make video games. Can't do that if we get rid of everyone who made World of Warcraft Dragonflight. We are creating crisis maps of what we can or cannot ship. That is the loss of capacity we're facing. I literally have a schedule I strike out as people hand in notices, end quote. Blizzard has denied this is the case and said that, quote, making decisions around priorities, iterating, and ensuring quality are everyday parts of game development, end quote. However, Adam's tweet is still live at the time of writing, and his perspective was echoed by fellow World of Warcraft developer Alison Steele. If this is indeed the case, it may go a long way in explaining why Overwatch 2 launched without features that were advertised in its reveal. In fact, despite being the unique selling point of the game, we still have no real idea when the PvE story mode will be added, leaving us with much the same setup as we had towards the end of the first Overwatch's life cycle, albeit 5v5 instead of 6v6. It's basically the only thing that fucking changed. Couple new heroes, couple of new maps, and 5v5 instead of 6v6. Great, that's 70 quid, please. Actually, it's a free-to-play game, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
But they deleted the first one.
Like, yo, Activision Blizzard, maybe if you weren't such a twat, you may be able to keep your stuff. I don't know how that rhymed, but it seemed like it did. But either way,
do you want me to write a beat on that? My name is Moody, and I'm here to say
I'm going to drop some truths for you today.
Activision Blizzard, suck my dick.
Oh, but no, yeah. It's
Bobby
like,
Kotick, you're a prick. I feel like we could actually probably get a freestyle rap out of this.
Really
We spent the last
could, yeah.
30 minutes just freestyle
Phil
rapping.
Spencer, sort your shit out.
Oh, but anyway, yes, Crisis
But
Maps
no,
game's
yeah.
not coming out.
Yeah, and what we've stated on many occasions, video game development is fucking hard. And even though the higher up management think it's so easy to keep pumping out games, pew, 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 pew. Eventually exhausting, and the staff just saying, no, fuck it, I'm out. I'm going somewhere else. Hopefully where I'm more appreciated and everything. And they've obviously, staff are deciding to do that. It's not a surprise. Good team, join the union, fuck Activision Blizzard.
Nice, well said. But can you say it in the form of a rap? No, I'm just kidding. But no, the you know, like the guy, the response from Activision Blizzard was funny because it's technically correct. Like, yes, this is a part of everyday game development planning, right? There's a whole department like just for planning things, but like planning. Like, hey, how long is it going to be before this feature gets like implemented? Or hey, how long do you need to get this build uploaded so the testers can play it? Not, hey, so the entire QA department just quit. We're gonna have to delay. I don't know. What does Blizzard make? That's not already out. Diablo, it's not coming out. I don't know.
Diablo 4?
Yeah, we're going to have to delay Diablo 4. We're going to have to do more beta tests because all our QA testers just quit. Like, that's not a normal part of game development. It worries me that they believe that. Like, I'm sure that was just bullshit, like, designed to, like, because they want to put out a generic business B2B statement. But it worries me that they believe that it's just a normal part of game development. If it is Activision Blizzard, it fucking shouldn't be.
Fucking crazy. Yeah. It's just one of those shit things over and over again when it comes to this type of thing, when it comes to development, especially from AAA development side and everything, and it's just really, really crap. So, not surprised, like I said, not surprised that people are wanting to leave and hopefully try and find better things and better developers and everything. Hopefully we'll treat them right and treat them, at least for fuck's sakes, like humans, for God's sakes. Yeah. The bare minimum. Treat your staff like a human being and pay them right. How hard can that really fucking be?
Depends who you ask, apparently.
It is really depends on who it asks. It really is. But we'll see what happens. I'm very intrigued to see what Diablo 4 is going to come out looking like. If this is how it's going.
I don't know, like, I don't know. People
That's a
talk
question,
about
mate.
It's a good game and stuff, but like, you know, it's just the beta, so it's like a walled off section of the game. Am I going to play it? I don't know. Like, Diablo's always been a weird one where I've always wanted to play one. And I remember you came on and talked about Diablo 3 a long while ago.
Diablo 3 was a surprisingly excellent port to console.
Yeah, and
somehow
I was like,
they made it work.
Like, should we play it?
Yeah.
Should we play Diablo 4? Like me and you get together. bash
It
out
comes
some
out when the
Diablo.
E3 is happening. I can probably get a copy sent to me, so
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
maybe we can have a look. So we can have a discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Future Amy and Moody's problem.
Future Amy and Moody's problem. Next time on the Dribble Drabble Ramble podcast.
Yes. The greatest name ever. I'm gonna buy this name,
Yeah,
so
please,
no
yeah.
domain
Get the
this name, so
website.
no one nicks
Get
it.
the website. I'll make the YouTube channel. I'll get the anchor podcast name.
Dribble Ramble
Dribble
Drabble Ramble podcast.
Well, we dribble, we drabble, and we ramble.
We ramble. And
Mostly
we definitely dribble.
Where are we going next?
You know what? Let's raise Xbox up. Microsoft announces Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Friend referrals. You're going to come out and say, this is terrible, Moody.
Doesn't feel quite right.
Should I take my Nintendo one off?
Nah, it's fine. I love how you like. Does Xbox even do merch? I don't know. I've got a
Yeah,
light.
they do. You've got one behind
I've got a
you.
light.
Yeah.
I can't wear that on my head. This is from Tom Phillips over at Eurogamer. He writes, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC subscribers can now refer a friend to PC Game Pass and gift them 14 days of free subscription time. Invited friends must be new to Game Pass to redeem the trial, and you're limited to doing this with 5 people. Also, to be clear, this is just for the PC portion of Game Pass. Still, 2 weeks free game time is nothing to be sniffed at, and this membership, of course, includes access to new first-party Xbox games, such as Redfall, and the included access to EA Play and Riot Game Library.
Sorry, I was feeling like a sneeze was coming on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I wasn't laughing at all.
It's like, oh, that's awkward. Redfall.
At the end of the day, this just continues the kind of customer user friendliness to it. Like, obviously, they've got the friends thing that you and me are a part of, obviously on Game Pass on Xbox,
Yeah.
and everything, and it just continues with that type of thing. So this is a
Game
At least they can get some kind of thumbs up from us this week. But yeah, at the same time, it's like this is so buried in all the shit that's been happening with them. I feel for the story.
Yeah, you wanna be like, it's okay though. It's not. Look, right. I might have caved your head in with a baseball bat, but then I gave you a glass of water, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Water,
metaphorically, everything.
Metaphorically, yeah, this is cool. Like, yeah, I'm always all for stuff like this. Like, it would be cool for something like, someone's interested in playing Sea of Thieves with me. You know what I mean? It's like, here's a code to try it out for 2 weeks instead of buying the game, and you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, that's where I see the value of something like this. It's like, I want to play this game with my friend, but I don't have it. Well, if you've had Game Pass, no. Okay, here's a code. Like, get the thing, do it. It is only for PC though, so it's only for people who can game on PC.
Yeah, get the thing.
Get the thing, do the thing. Play the thing.
I want to do 2 more stories.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go. Let's continue with the Xbox. With Forza Motorsport is to include a blind driving assist as part of its accessibility features.
This is from Ed Nightingale over at Eurogamer. He writes, the forthcoming Forza Motorsport will introduce blind driving assist as part of its suite of accessibility features. And a tweet shared by Xbox said, quote, the most accessible Forza Motorsport ever, end quote. And then it went on to say, quote, this is bringing the AAA racing genre to the blind community to the fullest, end quote. The blind driving assists provide supplemental audio cues to help players with low/no vision, explains an Xbox Wire post. The assists include a steering guide which pans car engine noise and tyre sounds to the left and right based on where the player needs to turn. There will also be track limit cues that beep when close to the edge of a track, plus audible information about track position and orientation, approach and progress through turns, deceleration, and when to shift. These features are included individually rather than as a single mode. Other accessibility features will also be available. One-touch driving will allow players to amend the combination of inputs needed, while screen narration will have a number of customizations available. And when he says this is the most accessible Forza game ever, that's not a fucking low bar. Like, Forza Horizon 5 put that bar right up there. So, like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. Like we said on many occasions, champion accessibility, and this is fantastic. Like I remember when we were talking about when Last of Us Part 2 came out, and they were just like, someone who was blind could play this fucking game. That was incredible, and completed it. That is phenomenal. That is incredible. I remember you talking about the game. I can't remember what it was called. Where
The
you
Veil,
were completely
Shadow of the Crown.
Yeah, don't play anything. You're blind and everything in it, and that was just an incredible thing to hear. These type of things are happening, and to know that
I played it lying on my bed with a pillow on my face.
Yes, you did. But I wonder if your parents came and said, "Is she trying to smother herself?"
What the hell is she doing? Like, because I've got the headphones on, and they can just and like the screen is just like that weird thing where it was just like dots on the screen or whatever,
which is just fantastic, And so we're hearing this, championing this,
game.
Fantastic. If this is why it's been delayed, like put these type of things in, I fucking champion this all the way from Xbox. It's a shame you didn't do this for Redfall.
Well, I mean, Redfall, never mind. I haven't looked in the accessibility menu, and I'm not playing it anymore. But just to be clear, I'm done. but no, like, I mean, that was missing fundamental options, never mind accessibility options. I don't know what the accessibility option situation in Redfall was, but what's cool about this is, like, they could have just taken everything that Forza Horizon 5 did, put it in their game, and then and you know what? That's still a lot, right? Like, there's still a ton of stuff from that game. I know they're different studios, but it's the same franchise thing.
Yeah.
So they could have done that, and you know what? It would have been it would have still been praiseworthy. But the fact that Turn 10 have gone, actually, we can add more to this, and we can do more, so we can get even more people in if they want to play Forza Motorsport. That's just fantastic.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's what you want to hear. That's what we want to champion. Yeah. So amazing.
What's the opposite of the bare minimum?
Staff being treated as humans with good wage. I've already started that.
I'll allow it.
PlayStation sees huge boosts in PC ports. Record PS5 sales.
It's from Edmund Tran over at Games Hub. He writes, Sony has released its fiscal year 2022 report, which has revealed significant milestones and growth for its PlayStation division. Shit, I threw it too far away. The first noteworthy observation is that Sony has now shipped over 38 million PS5 consoles in its lifetime, with 6.3 million consoles being shipped in the first 3 months of 2023. This is a sales record for any console in the first quarter of the calendar year, which typically represents the slowest time of year for new console uptake. As VGC notes, the 6.3 million figure is almost triple what Sony shifted last year, when technology production was constrained by microprocessor shortages and PS5 stock was limited. These roadblocks have seemingly now been resolved, as the company claimed at the beginning of 2023, with built-up demand having an immense impact. Sony has stated it now expects to ship 25 million more PS5 consoles over the next fiscal year, which ends March 31st, 2024. If it hits this figure, it would be another sales record for PlayStation consoles. Another noteworthy observation is that PlayStation's game software sales have increased year on year from roughly $11 billion in financial year 21 to $12 billion in financial year 22. Notably, PC Gamer has made an astute observation in regards to the others category on Sony's sales report, which encapsulates revenue from peripherals including PlayStation VR and revenue from sales of first-party titles on platforms other than PlayStation consoles. The others segment made a jump from roughly $1.3 billion to $2.4 billion year on year. With the assumption of that the release of PSVR 2 may have contributed to some of this bump, the final quarterly results, which encapsulate the device's launch, saw a rise from roughly $378 million to $1 billion year on year. The results across the year have still seen some very strong growth. I'm going to go out and say it, I don't think PSVR 2 put much of a dent in that.
I agree. I agree. I fucking agree with you there. Obviously, we could be completely speaking out of our there, but yes, I completely agree.
No, I think this
when
is like,
PlayStation are not even talking about PSVR 2, that's a sign in itself.
yeah, I think this is fucking The Last of Us and etc. launching on Steam.
Fucking yes, got the God of War success and everything. So they've had an incredible success when it comes to the PC ports and whatnot. When it comes financially, when it comes to like the ports themselves,
I mean,
that's
sure,
a different question.
different
God of War
conversation.
was apparently terrific as a port. If I remember right hearing, I never heard anything bad about it. But Last of Us.
Twitter.com/GameOverGreg.
If you guys know you're going to drop a game on PC in time for obviously the end of the HBO show, how about you start development of it a lot more earlier? Or not rush it, or something like that, man. Like, come on,
Make it
it's crazy.
work. Make it work. Why?
Yeah.
This is not PlayStation related, but it is tangentially related because of The Last of Us Part 1. But like someone pointed out on Twitter, and I can't fault them for it. Every major release of 2023 on PC has had problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just an interesting stat. I don't know.
PC Master Race, man. Just like,
I know, right? It is. You know what? It is quite nice having had that rubbed in my face for so long. Where it's just like, well, mine worked fine. Like, I mean, Redfall didn't, but I mean,
that's not a console problem.
that's not a PC console problem. I am gonna boot up Star Wars tonight. I feel like it's gonna work pretty well. It's on a PS5, like. Anyway, yeah, I don't think PSVR 2 sold very well.
Yeah,
I found out that they're not selling it anywhere apart from on the official PlayStation Store website.
Fascinating.
Yeah, like it popped up as a thing where it was like, oh, they're going to start selling it at retailers, and I was like, you weren't already? What you you launched this device? And you weren't selling it anywhere?
Yeah. Are you crazy?
What the fuck? No one bought it.
You fucking
People
idiots.
probably don't know it was out. Like, anyone who's like not super into like following video game stuff wouldn't have even known PSVR 2 existed.
True,
and that's fascinating. But this is cool. It's always good to see success, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Then they've had a great success overall. PS5 is going really well. It's outselling. Sorry, Xbox, but it's outselling Xbox.
It's always going to be
at the end of the day, that's not a surprise. I'm not surprised by that.
That's an interesting part of the Phil Spencer interview. That I'm going to link in the description. He talks.
I will get to that.
He talks about that. But no, yeah, it was always going to outsell Xbox.
Yeah, it was at the end of the day. It's just because it's a beautiful console. Designed beautifully.
I hate it.
I love it.
The design.
Yeah.
From a visual standpoint, it looks nice. From an ergonomical standpoint, I fucking hate it. Every time I have to move the damn thing, it slides off the stand, and then I gotta try and clip the stand back on, and like it's fucking annoying.
Do you have it on its side or on its
I have it on its side. I've had it both both ways. It's currently on its side.
I have it standing. I have preferred standing for me personally.
Well, I probably would.
It's because I can screw it in better.
So it's on a shelf above, like I've got a shelf above, like everything. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable having it standing at that height.
That's fair.
Like
That's
if that
a lot
falls,
of money to throw away.
It's going down. It's probably going to take.
And you do know that PS5 will take over things with it.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, well, it's on the right hand side. So all the wires run past the Switch and the Xbox. So if it falls and the wire doesn't come out, all of my consoles are coming with it.
Yeah, keep that bad boy on its side.
I'll suddenly be like, yeah, PC gaming, it's amazing, yeah.
It's amazing.
All my consoles got wiped out.
That's it for Moody's time to shine. It's time to now go.
I feel like
cool.
we did not talk about PlayStation at all in that news story.
We didn't really, did we?
No, I feel like we didn't talk about any of it.
Congratulations, PlayStation. You made money.
Do you think? Excuse me. Do you think they're going to ship 25 million more PS5s over the next financial year? It's a lot.
It's a lot. that tells me they've got something to show. They've got Spider-Man coming out.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is a massive fucking IP. And
like-
that for lawn, it will move units. We know it will. If they've got something else to come with it, because right now they're very quiet right now, PlayStation, which obviously I think is very intentional. Whenever they decide they want to talk and reveal whatever they want to talk about, it's going to be fascinating. Yeah. I'm going to say yes.
I feel like they've got a stack. I feel like they've got a stacked 2023.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't need anything else. Spider-Man's going to be huge for them. Final Fantasy 16 is coming out in
16,
June.
yeah. Final Fantasy 7,
7, yeah.
If that comes,
early 2024, even it spills over in early 2024. It'll keep the momentum flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it do it. I think some of the bump is down to the fact that you could just get a PS5 a lot easier now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. People aren't keeping them in the
scalpers got fucked.
Scalpers.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah. But yeah, you can get them in shops now. You can just walk into a shop and buy a PS5 for the first time. Cool. So it's time for cool games to shine. I wonder what's coming out next week.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing of interest. Small. It's like there's a sequel. Apparently,
there's two sequels.
Breath of the Wild 2 in it. Breath of the Wild 2 in it.
There's 2 sequels. The 2 games that I wanted to highlight are basically the 2 games that I can find that are coming out next week. One is Darkest Dungeon 2, which is emerging from early access. On PC, on Steam, and the Epic Games Store, and that's happening on May 8th. And you can tell I copy-pasted some information here. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, is not coming out on PC. That would be fucking mental. It's coming out on Switch on May 12th. We'll probably talk about Zelda in OpenCritic Head-To-Head.
Speaking of OpenCritic Head-To-Head,
I actually own Darkest Dungeon 2, weirdly enough. I bought it on an Epic Games sale, when they were giving away those £10 coupons.
Yeah.
I bought the early access on a whim, thinking I'm probably not going to play it in early access, but when it comes out, I might dip into it. Yeah. Not realizing they were going to launch it in a sandwich between Star Wars and Zelda. So I'm
Star Wars sandwich.
Thanks. It's time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game we play most weeks where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever guesses closest to the average at the time of recording gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. We were nowhere near. 2 weeks ago.
Nowhere near?
No, nowhere near.
We were nowhere near either of the games.
No, I know. 2 weeks ago, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of The Last Case of Benedict Fox and finally got an OpenCritic average today. As I was putting the show notes together, I guessed it would get.
Apparently, it does not play well on Xbox.
7. That's weird. 2 games in a week. How bizarre. I guess I'll download it on my PC then. I guess it would get a 77. Moody guessed it would get a 79 at the time of recording. Last Case of Benedict Fox has an OpenCritic average of 69, which means that Amy gets a point. We also last week guessed the OpenCritic average for Redfall. Fun fact: if we'd have guessed our Dead Island scores, Moody would have almost got 2 points. But that's not what happened. Amy guessed it would get a 73. Moody guessed it would get a 74. And at the time of recording, Redfall has an OpenCritic average of 62, which gives Amy the point and puts the scores at Amy 11, Moody 6, with 1 draw. I'm not gonna belabor the point with Redfall.
Yeah,
because I feel like we just spent an hour essentially doing that. It's a shame. It's a shame. This week...
It is.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on.
No.
This week we're going to do Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You'd think it'd be easy. It's not. Not when it's a competitive 1v1 game. Guessing an OpenCritic average and you'd be like, oh, it was pretty close. Pretty close doesn't cut it. When there's another guy in a Pikachu hat who, if he gets it closer, wins. That's when it becomes difficult. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on OpenCritic, was it a 96?
I'm trying to fucking find out.
Because I think the
I
most,
spelled Zelda wrong.
the highest reviewed game on OpenCritic is Mario
96.
Odyssey with 97.
96.
96. 96% of critics recommend. Who the fuck didn't recommend Breath of the Wild? I'm fascinated by that.
James, Stephanie, and Sterling.
But were they on OpenCritic?
No, I don't think so. But they're the ones who knocked down
mean,
the
they did
score
a
on
7. Oh,
Critic,
no,
and they pissed off. Pissed off everyone, didn't they?
There's 4 7 out of 10 reviews on OpenCritic.
Easy Allies only gave it a 4.5. For fuck's sake, so Easy Allies, you let the team down.
How could you do that?
Okay. All right, Amy, come on. Let's not dilly-dally around
It'll be this review where the thing says, it's a brilliant first attempt, but that does not make it a great game. 7 out of 10. Wow. That'll be the one. Sorry,
sounds like when people lose their virginity.
It's funny because of the site. The site is full of like incels and gamer gators. I remember it from years ago. Fuck, what do you do, man? Like, you know what? Where's my pointer? I mean, it's my guess is obviously gonna. That's the wrong one. My guess is obviously gonna start with a 9.
69.
Start with a 9. 96. The inverted 69.
So you got 9 numbers to choose from, Amy.
I really like the idea of the inverted 69 now. 97. Just as good as Super Mario Odyssey. According to
Let's just be frank here. We know the critics are going to gush all over this game. We fucking know it. They are waiting for this game. Yeah, that's true. Like,
hey, anything can happen.
Anything could happen. Could be your Redfall 2 again. Who knows?
Could you imagine the next week's podcast?
Oh my goodness!
If
we
Legend of Zelda
Joe back on for this
was like a 62. That would be the entire podcast. We would do just that. Just being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, true. I mean, you know what I'm going for? 96.
96. That's fair. I probably should have gone 96, but you got to take your chances.
Like, this is a game the whole Nintendo nerds have been waiting for.
It's true.
Yeah, been waiting, what, 2 years? 3 years now?
No. It's 2017 when the last one came out.
No, I meant when they revealed it.
I mean, yeah, well...
Because it wasn't originally meant to come out 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure of that.
Internally, probably. Who knows? They never committed to a date, I don't think. Ever. This wasn't like a Suicide Squad situation where they kept delaying the game over and over again. I don't think they committed to anything.
Suicide Squad, you're never going to live that down, just, you know.
Some dumbass picked the game in Fantasy Critic in 2020.
Did.
And it wasn't the most far-fetched idea in the world.
To go for.
But
well, that's it, Amy.
That's it.
We're done and dusted. We're done.
I'm just going to open Fantasy Critic real quick. There's been some movements. Like, I find it funny, because we have a group chat for Fantasy Critic that occasionally buzzes with activity. And Alfie went in and chucked some shade at Russ, being like, I can't believe I'm trying to lose on purpose, and Russ is still last. Like, the day before Redfall reviews came out. She has Redfall in her team, so she lost points for it. And now he's in 4th. The next game that comes out in the Fantasy Critic verse is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is in Russ's team. He's on 38. And I'm on 57. He's gonna. So when we do the update next week, he's gonna be in 1st. Because he picked up Age of Wonders 4. which offset is both his counter picks coming out at the same time, and giving him minus points. He's only 19 points behind me in first. So if Breath of the Wild gets an 89, he's going to be in first place. So we're going to have to do a thing when that happens, because I feel like we need to celebrate that. But otherwise, is there anything else that's jumping out at you? I know Vitz is off the tracks. I think you're muted. Wow, you haven't done that for a long time.
Finally moving at long last.
Vitz has finally gotten moving. Keeps just sitting there biding his time.
Else just waiting to implode.
I think she started.
Yeah.
Stole my counter pick. I was the one that originally tried to counter pick Persona.
I'll laugh if that comes out.
She will have saved me from destroying myself if that comes out. I checked the thing because I bought a game, Amnesia, which comes out later this month, like every other fucking game. And I counter-picked Persona, and when I didn't see Persona on my thing, I was like, what the fuck? And I checked the league history options. I put $1 down on it, because I was like, I'm just going to put $1 down on a counter-pick. She countered my bid with 15, which was excessive. But she has filled a team up and has money to spare. She will, but what I need people to remember is he will be dropping games throughout the year, and you can't bid for 0. So keep some money. But yeah, at the minute, it's shaping up to be a bit of a 3-way fight at the top, as it stands.
Yeah, right now. It's going to be very interesting, like, by the end of the year, what's what, you know? So we'll see what happens.
I think May and June, I've got a lot of people have got games coming out, like a few games coming out, so I think that's going to be another big, like, shuffle around kind of thing. And then obviously, like, E3 will happen, and we'll all bid on a bunch of games that get revealed, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be absolutely brilliant.
I'm
looking forward to June. I think June's going to be a really fun time.
I think June is going to be a fun time. I think we're going to have a great time. Me and you are going to have a great time. We always have a great time when we hang out.
Hell yeah.
We get to laugh at Jeff Keighley in person.
I know. Like, just for that alone, it's
All
like,
right.
fuck me, Lord Jesus.
Fuck
We're going to
me,
be in
Lord
sync
Jesus.
and everything. If Alien is shown again, or a new Alien movie, you're going to get proper full-on. And if Dino Crisis, or Final Fantasy 9.
If Dino Crisis or Final Fantasy 9 turn up at E3, I fully expect to be fucking thrown across the room. I genuinely think I'll be injured.
Honestly, and you just go.
It'll be like those videos on TikTok of the mothers with their kids, and they listen to the headbanging music, and they're like, the kids in the car just like, what the fuck? And then like it kicks in, and she starts headbanging, but she grabs the kid and starts fucking shaking the kid around. That'll be me. I'll be the kid in that situation. Just be gentle with my back.
I expect you to be fit and fiddle by then, all right, Amy? All fighting, fit, and everything by then, 100%.
Why are you fighting?
Probably bloody Jeff Keighley.
I mean, you'll never see it coming either because I blocked him on social media.
Alright, sucker.
Imagine, just at the stage of the Summer Games Fest, and you just come out of nowhere.
Oh my god, a random woman has just dropped Jeff Keighley on stage! We don't know why this has happened! This is the funniest thing we've ever seen in our life! Someone stop her beating him up! She probably has reasons, so it might be okay. We don't condone violence on this podcast.
I'll wear a t-shirt that says Free Dino Crisis.
Free Dino Crisis!
Yeah.
Free Dino Crisis!
Punch him, put my arms in the air, be like, ah, like so everyone can see my t-shirt, and then run.
Yeah. Like, I'm fucking waiting for PlayStation to say it's on their PlayStation 1 thingy, essential thing shit. They had a picture of it on one time. I'm like, where the fuck is it?
Well, because you could buy
Where is
it
it, Sony?
on PS3. You know the PS Classic store that was on PS3 and PS Vita? I'm pretty sure you could buy it on there. This is what's always perplexed me about them not being backwards compatible with so many PS1 classics, because they had a whole fucking library of them available on the previous console.
That's true.
Emulation is a thing.
That's true. Okay, let's get out of here, mate. I've stood for too long and I want to get going. But I will leave you with this amazing quote from Denzel Washington himself. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. So go out and fail, because you'll be trying to live an awesome life. What?
I was waiting to see if you were going to say fuck the Tories or not.
No. I'm going to leave it with that awesome quote.
Nice. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.